just like that, the weather changes. All the cloud is actually raining ever so slightly right now, although the sunlight is out in some places. Let's see if it changes. And what's going on today? It's kind of interesting reading this one. Imagine going through the highway and then I guess in the middle, they're gonna designate it as a helipad of sort for things like drones. This one says government to set up helipads, drone landing facilities on highways. The National Highway Authority of India is building a wayside amenities at more than 600 locations along the national highways, which will include setting up helipads and drone landing facilities. Basic facilities like toilets, parking, restaurants, dormitories for truckers, electric vehicle charging, and trauma centers are also on the cards, Union Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari said. There will also be retail outlets for promoting handicrafts and locally manufactured products. Some wayside amenities will also have helipads and drone landing facilities to deal with medical emergencies like road accidents and organ transplants, he said. He added that logistic costs in India is higher at 13 to 14% of GDP compared to 8 to 9% in other developed economies, such as the US. The PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan is a very big initiative and it will help us reduce logistic costs, Gadkari said. I mean, I guess that's cool to use drones in these ways, but just think in some countries, and a lot of them actually, where they fearmonger a drone, for example. Oh no, it's near a vehicle and all that. And now they're gonna standardize it, I guess, in things like highways. You have these little landing pads or something like that. I guess when there's money to be made, you'll always find, I guess, a reason to do it, correct? And with that thought, where people are flying things recreationally, for example, or people just doing small jobs, the hysteria is still there. How about this one was a follow-up in terms of a guy that was threatening a drone pilot. This one says, pensioner threatens drone pilot with gun over fears he was filming wife sunbathing. Apparently, one of the punishment would have been jail time, but for whatever reason, I guess, he avoided it. It says a pensioner has avoided jail for threatening a professional drone pilot with a gun over fears he was filming his wife sunbathing in their garden. Michael Edwards, 72, was caught wielding the weapon on video as he rushed out of his home in a rage to confront his victim. A court heard videographer Dane Gooden of Swindon, Wiltshire, was innocently filming a neighbor's home from the sky for an estate agent listing on August 22 last year. But he was left shocked when Edwards began shouting and swearing at him while armed with a black, realistic-looking pistol. Edwards, who was filmed flapping his arms around, told the victim he had taken 3 shots at his drone as it hovered near his property, claiming it's illegal to fly there. It's like one of those guys, huh? And it says here he pleaded guilty to possession of a firearm, namely a Huntington G10 air pistol, at a hearing last month, 30/03, and was back in court to be sentenced today. He was given a curfew and ordered to wear a tag and pay compensation to Mr. Gooden. And apparently during this time, the drone pilot tried to explain to him, I'm just taking pictures of the property, for example, like perfectly legal and all that, but he didn't have any of it. And then the pilot apparently said, don't point that gun at me, to which Edwards responded, don't point an effing drone at me. He proceeded to hit the drone case with the gun, causing irreparable damage to the device worth around 1,300 pounds. It's just crazy to think still how there's so many people who have these kinds of fear that's not fact-based, it's just purely emotional. Kind of reminds me, remember that time when I was debating with that drone hater and a lot of you were so surprised with how calm and composed I was? Because it's unfortunate to say, but it's so similar. It is actually the exact same thing, I guess, psychologically, if that's what you want to say, in terms of people who have this prejudiced mindset. I'm thinking in my mind, okay, I deal with this every single day. This is no different. The only difference is you're transferring this into the topic of drones, for example. And with that thought of similarity still, it's related because in terms of that fear mongering, I know immediately people will say, oh, it's just what you see in the news and all that. But if you think in the bigger picture, somebody has to be, I guess, incentivizing that type of, I guess, narrative. So it's the lobbyist, in my opinion, or a fake guru that's making money out of this situation. That's the problem as well. Alright, see you guys later.